Welcome to Sports Chat. I'm your host, Alondra Rondon.
And I'm your co-host, Carmenelli Rondon. We have a great episode for you today.
Our next guests are the girls' 7th and 8th grade basketball coaches, Mr. DiFilippo and Mr. Franco. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us today.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations to you and the team on reaching the 2022 Lawrence Public Schools Intramural Basketball City Championship game. I'm sorry that you and the team came up a little bit short. It is still an amazing accomplishment to be the runners-up.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
What were some of the factors that contributed to the success of the team during the season, reaching the championship game?
Well, first we had great depth. We had 15 girls, and that allowed us to keep the girls fresh. We had some great 8th grade leadership in Amelia Diodotti and Haley Sear.
And then as far as reaching the championship game, we had a good game plan going in. We played the Gilmet Middle School, who had beaten us during the regular season. We were 7-2, so they gave us one of our losses, and we just isolated their best player. We had our best defenseman stay on their best player so that we could free up the other girls to make the shots.
Could you share some of the season's highlights with us?
Yes, going 7-2 in the regular season, we had the #1 seed.
And we didn't really know what we had at the beginning of the season. In the first weekend, we didn't know how good we were going to be, and we ended up going 3-0, which ended up setting the tone for the rest of the year.
What are your thoughts on the competition you faced during the basketball season, especially the final game?
Well, during the season, we saw a lot of good teams. The Gilmet was our fiercest competitor in the regular season, so we put a lot of focus on them going into the playoffs.
And when we got to the championship game, we had noticed that the Partham school, who we had beaten during the regular season, had a bunch of girls we hadn't seen. They missed the first weekend, and we really didn't know why, but these girls were really talented and really good. So we saw the game, the semifinal game that they were in beforehand, and it was a complete blowout against the other school. So we knew that the final game was going to be very tough.
What were some of the key details that helped make your team go as far as they did, almost winning it all?
First, again, it was the depth. Having 15 girls, we were able to keep girls fresh, rotating them in and out. Secondly, the defense set the tone. Haley Sear and Jocelyn Shailene Caminero in the backcourt, and the front court, girls like Brianna Reyes, Alejandra Rondon, Jolise Figueroa, and Alini all were a wall. So we appreciate their hard defense all year.
It was really a good team effort throughout the whole season. All the girls really played great, and they really came together as a team, so it was really good to see from where they started to where they finished.
Did the pandemic cause any issues you had to deal with during the season?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I did feel bad for the girls having to play with a mask on. Running around playing basketball with a mask on, it can be very difficult. It was great on the final weekend, especially during the championship game, that the girls could not wear masks.
Also, we had to deal with a number of cancellations. A lot of snow days happened on Saturdays, so the season kept getting pushed back farther and farther. So it was kind of tough to keep the team together because it was so much space in between games in the season.
Why did you decide to coach for the girls' basketball team?
So in the school year of 2019, Mr. Lucas, who runs the intramural program for the Frost, approached me because the 7th and 8th grade girls didn't have a coach. I knew the girls going out for the team. They were really good kids. They're in high school now. They're sophomores. And I felt really bad that they weren't going to be able to play because there wasn't a coach. So I decided to step in and become the coach for the 7th and 8th grade girls.
That year, Mr. Franco reached out to me to assist because he knew that basketball's been a big part of my life. So I've been coaching for years, and I decided, well, why not help out the Frost?
What are your thoughts and goals as you look forward to the next season?
To win a championship, to finish what we started. And I'd like the girls to keep playing the game and just get better and learn the fundamentals and just keep grinding.
For the girls that are returning to develop and to push themselves, and for some newcomer girls to infuse into the team.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and thanks for being my coach.
Thank you for having us. It was great to coach you and all the girls this year.
We're live at the Winter Sports Rally. Let's take a look inside.
And now I'd like to bring to the mic our two 7th and 8th grade girls basketball coaches, Mr. DiFilippo and Mr. Franco.
Seventh and eighth grade girls, we had a tremendous season. 7-2 in the regular season, best of any of the middle schools. We had a first round bye. We won our round game 18-12 over the Gilmet, and then we ended up coming in second place, losing the championship game to the Partham. It was a tremendous season by the girls. Couldn't be prouder. And we're gonna come out and announce these awesome young ladies. We're gonna start with the 7th graders, Jolise Figueroa. Marjorie Martinez. Chris Leoni Veras. Liz Neri Ferraris. Eleni Santana. The twins aren't here today, but Jashlene and Shilene Caminero are also on the team. Alejandro Rondon. And for the 8th graders, Brianna Reyes. Jolady Frias. For our Defensive Player of the Year, Haley Sear. And Team's Most Valuable Player, Amelia Diodati. Thank you, girls, for a great season.
Joining us now are two of my teammates from the 7th and 8th grade girls basketball team, Haley and Amelia.
Hi, thanks for having us.
How do you feel coming close to winning the championship?
It felt good, but it was a little disappointing that if we had worked a little more on our flaws, then we could have came close to winning or have won the game.
I think the game was good, and the Partham played a really good game, and I respect them a lot. They're really good at basketball, and they played a really good match.
What were some factors that contributed to the success of the team during the season?
You know, I think that I'm very offensive minded, and me and Haley have a really good bond when we're on the court. And since I'm more offensive minded, I like to just drive to the hoop and, try to get as many points down low as I can. Yeah.
I think I'm more defensive minded. I'm always on the court just playing aggressive and always just trying to take the ball away from the other players' hands.
Were there any challenges that you have to overcome during the season?
Definitely. And with COVID, one of the biggest challenges was having to wear a mask. And during all of our first 3 weekends we had to play, we had to have masks on. It was always really hot. But then during the championship game, we got to take the masks off, so it felt very nice to have those off.
I'd say that all of our games and competitions were really solid and really good. They were all really good games, and I really respect all the other teams for that.
What is it like playing for coaches DiFilippo and Franco?
I like the fact that they didn't let us quit, and they just gave us a lot of motivation during our games. During halftime, they would just motivate us to keep moving even though we were tired, and yeah, they would just give us motivation.
I really liked that they listened to what some of the players were trying to say during a game. Me and Haley always usually want to go on the court together, and they completely respect that. They know that we work better together.
Thanks for joining us, and congrats on a great season.
Thanks, anytime.
Yeah, thanks for having us today. And thank you, Alejandra, for being a good teammate during this season.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode. I'm Alejandra Rondon.
And I'm Carmen Rondon, and we'll see you in the next episode.